Welcome back. This is Will at Work. I'm Kevin. Today we're going to look at the Intellivision. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. The reason is because there's a lot of different things that we need to test here with this one in order to see if things work. That's the nature of the show. A little background on the Intellivision. This came out around the same time as the Atari 2600. It was a direct competitor. It did not have, let's say, a lot of arcade ports. It had a lot of games that were made specifically for, the Intellivision system itself. And a lot of those games were good. They had a lot of good sports games. They had a lot of good, multiplayer games, etc. for the time. And, it could hold its own against the 2600 fairly well, but of course the 2600 had arcade ports and it had a lot more support than the Intellivision did. So the 2600, outsold it, did much better than it. But the Intellivision, for whatever reason, Mattel and then later whoever they had sold it to kept the Intellivision going and going and going and going for many years. You could still buy one, and they were still making games for it. And now, of course, we're into the world where they make games for everything that's old. So they're still probably making games for this, as far as I'm aware. They do have a new system coming out called the Amico as of 2021. I think it's coming out this year. So, we have a rather a thin controller, right? You see how it has it's sort of hollow in the back. So it's very lightweight. You had this disc that, you could control things on, which was pretty close to where we were getting with the pad, but we weren't quite there yet. You had the number buttons, which, better than nothing, I guess, but I've never been a fan of these number pads on any console. I realize that they can be useful when you're playing certain games and you need more control, but I don't know. They don't really replace a keyboard. They're just they're just sort of novel. You have two buttons on the left side and two buttons on the right. I believe most of the time it's just one button that you're going to be using for things. I think the right and left are just redundant depending on if you're left or right-handed. And of course you can take a overlay like this one and slide it into the cartridge or into the controller, and once you get it all the way in, then you can see what each of the buttons do, which is a nice little feature. The overlays, of course, are the first things to get lost when you're collecting or holding on to these things, because people forget to put them back, or they just throw them to the side and the vacuum cleaner gets them, or what have you. Now it may look like sound comes out of the center. That's just a vent, probably for heat or something. Back in the day, it does make sound through the system. What I recall is that the processor in this was a bit slow, and because of that, it couldn't do it couldn't compete in certain ways, and had some flicker when games had a lot of action on the screen at once. It's not to say this is the only system that had that. You're going from like half a megahertz to a megahertz. We're not talking about, crazy performance coming out of the 2600 versus the Intellivision or anything. But, it was just something that people were aware of. I remember being a kid and being aware of that kind of thing. And, if you wanted a system, you weren't, as a kid, you probably weren't asking your folks for an Intellivision. You were probably asking for a 2600. But of course, even back then, there were families that had both. There were families that probably had a different system every year or something, depending on what the kids wanted. It's nice that there's no adapter. It's just a straight plug right into the wall. They did make a Intellivision 2. I have one of those, sort of. It's sort of a family one. My brother and I would go visit our mother out in California for the summers, and she had bought one to keep us kind of entertained with a handful of games. and we would play that all the time. When my mother passed away, I gave that to my brother. Well, I mean, I didn't give it to him, it was ours, but I mean, I gave my, here, we're not going to share it or whatever, so I'm like, you can have it, basically. I don't want to fight you for it. So he has it. I'm sure it's in a closet somewhere collecting dust. I should probably ask him if he's not going to use it. I'll just add it back to the collection. But either way, it is basically the same thing as the main unit. Though I will say that the main Intellivision unit had a few more expansion items that the Intellivision 2 was no longer in the right form factor to fit, like a big keyboard, like a musical keyboard and things like that. I believe were only made for this system and not for the Intellivision 2, though the Intellivision 2, I think, may have worked with the IntelliVoice, the voice synthesis module, where this will actually talk for certain games if you bought this. And this was a fairly popular item, so it's not particularly rare. If you had an Intellivision, you kind of wanted the IntelliVoice, and you could, have it talk and everything. We'll try it if I have a game here that'll work with it. I'm not sure if I do or not. But yeah, the IntelliVoice. Now, you would also think that with Atari, they were selling things through Sears, and you would think that Sears and Atari were in bed together, but Sears was working with anybody that would want to work with them, and so they also had a Telegames version of the I gotta zoom out here, called the Super Video Arcade, and it was fairly similar here with the controllers. They were parked more in the middle, and you had sort of a base station there, and they would release games as well, in the sense of, they were Intellivision games, but they branded them with their own, branding. The Telegames Super Video Arcade Utopia, which was also Utopia for the Intellivision, and the cartridge which would work in either system. Why do these sorts of things? I don't know. It just sort of splits up the market. But that's what people did. And so, since I have a cartridge out here, you can kind of see that, the cartridge, is just your plain old, small little cart. And, okay, get in there. A couple of Utopia slips, and you get the instruction manual. So, Utopia is a great game. Probably won't show that one to you, though, because it's just more of a strategy game in a time when there weren't really a lot of strategy games. So it was kind of a cool thing. We will try both of these systems out. I have not tried either. So we'll see if they work. I may even have another Intellivision based off of this base model. And I believe I probably have more Intellivision games than what we'll go through today. But I wanted to kind of move this video along. So let's just get the Intellivision done and done. And if I run across more Intellivision stuff, well, who knows? Maybe one day we'll do another video, but I don't think so. So let's see what games we have here. We have Mind Strike, Tron Deadly Discs, and we have a version of Donkey Kong, which looks very similar to the ColecoVision Donkey Kong. It even says Coleco Donkey Kong on it, but it is made for the Intellivision. Now, isn't that interesting? Because it was made by Nintendo Donkey Kong, but in the United States, I guess, Coleco had the rights to license and sell Donkey Kong to other game consoles, and even though they were a competitor of Nintendo, Donkey Kong was such a big deal that Intellivision got a copy of it. Kind of cool, right? It's when people were nice and would play together. Star Strike, Sea Battle, and we got Burger Time. That was an arcade license. Armor Battle, which would be their version of Combat, I suppose. Golf. Space Battle. A lot of battling going on here. Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad Talks. I know that it works with the Intellivoice, so that one we'll probably definitely check out when we check out the Intellivoice. Bump and Jump. My brother and I spent hundreds of hours playing Bump and Jump. It was ridiculous. NFL football. Got an NFL license there. It's not just football. Like this. Baseball. No MLB there. Auto racing. And I think that is just about it. We have Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Treasure of... I can't quite see that last word. Treasure of something. So, some of those games are pretty cool. Dungeons and Dragons pretty cool. We'll look at some of those. Oh, I also have Night Stalker. That's also a fun game. And most of these are not in boxes, but I do have most of the slips for all of these as well. A big pile of slips. And just organizing those here off camera so I can put those down. We have a big pile of those. And we have a bunch of manuals. Like Tron. Now Mattel has a special offer for you. Tron the movie. Save from $5 to $25. It's our way of saying thank you for buying your Tron game cartridge from Mattel Electronics. You can get it on VHS, Beta, Laser Video Disc, RCA Selectavision Video Disc. And it doesn't actually tell you the cost. Does it tell you the cost inside here? Yes. If you wanted Tron on VHS, you would have to pay $60 for it. The regular suggested retail price was $85.95. You could get it on VHS for $60. Or if you wanted it on Laserdisc, that would be $25. And RCA Selectavision Video Disc was $20. This was probably a pretty limited period of time when VHS was way more expensive than the others, but there was a time when VHS, everything that came out on VHS for quite a while, especially through the 80s, were VHS tapes for movie studios were like $80 each or something. They were not easy to own. So we got like Space Battle, manual, tells you how to play the game. We have the Intellivoice. Probably look at that first, see how that goes. We have most of our manuals here. We have a box for Night Stalker. That's what that guy looks like there. It's kind of a fun game, Night Stalker, if I recall. Yeah, the Master Component System. And we have an old manual here. It kind of goes through all the games they had. Astro Smash, Star Strike, Space Battle, Space Hawk, Night Stalker, Space Armada, Tron 2, Tron Deadly Discs, Lock and Chase, I played a lot of that, Sub Hunt, Sea Battle, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Even there they don't tell you the name of the whole thing. It's like it's got a name. It's coming soon. Okay, Armor Battle, Snafu, Frog Bog, we had that, played that a lot. Triple Action, NFL Football, Major League Baseball, NHL Hockey, NBA Basketball. But you can see they went and got all these licenses for all these things. PBA Bowling, NASL Soccer, Tennis, PGA Golf, US Ski Team Skiing, Boxing, Auto Racing, Chess, US CF Chess, Royal Dealer, Reversey, Horse Racing, ABPA Backgammon, Checkers, The Electric Company, Math Fun, Las Vegas Roulette, Las Vegas Poker and Blackjack, and The Electric Company Word Fun. Now these are by no means all the games. There were many, many games for the Intellivision. Like I said, they were making them forever. But, yeah. Yeah, so, I have the receipt here from when I bought the Intellivision system and the Utopia game. I bought it at a Goodwill back in Looks like I bought it in 1998, and the Intellivision system cost me $10 in the box, and the Utopia game was $3. And then I got some kind of something else for $5. Total was $18. Boy, it'd be nice to buy an Intellivision with a game today in the box for a whole $10. But then again, things wouldn't be worth anything. But that kind of shows you where we were in 1998, where we are now, which is basically 10 times the value. If another 15 years go by, are we going to be 10 times the value of that? No, but they're going to get more and more valuable, I think, as time goes by. So, in terms of like sliding this guy in here, kind of put it into the cartridge port like that, and yeah, away you go. So I'm gonna hook this guy up to the TV. Hopefully we'll get some video out. We'll try to drive it out to the video, and we'll switch over and see what it looks like. So here we go. Okay, here we are with the Intellivision. We have a pretty nice solid video signal, which is always good to see. I put in golf. Let's see if golf works. We got a menu there, then it went to black. Not sure what's going on there. Let's try resetting it. How many players? 1. Enter. And okay. So that's our golf. Let's see if I have an overlay for golf. I do. I'm not going to put it in because it's just a pain in the ass, but let me see what each button does. Alright, so I'm going to pick a 1 wood, and top left button is long. So in this case, you know, I mentioned the side buttons. They do work differently, so they are not just duplicates on each side. The 2 left buttons, we have long and medium swing. On the right, the top one is long, so that may be repeating, but the bottom right one is short. And then you can use the disc to aim the swing. So let's do a long. Yeah, you know, for the time, this is probably pretty good. You can kind of set up how we want to aim it. We don't want to use we'll use a 3 wood here. Oh, that was way too far. And now I think we want to go the other way, right? So we want to point this down. And we'll use let's use a 7 iron. So let's use a 9 iron. And we'll do a short. Not bad. Not bad. I should have been a professional golfer. No. Let's go putter. It would be nice if it switched to a green shot, but I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. That was really short. That's funny. Let's try that again. And it's in the hole, everybody. Hooray! And then you move on to another course. So, 1980s golf. Yeah, it's okay, right? You can play up to 4 players. You know, for a family night, it's okay. That one works. Now, we can try the IntelliVoice here, but I'm not thinking we're going to have a lot of luck. Just because my guess is it's going to be a pain to get all of these things working. You get a black screen, which is nice. yeah. Get a game. Let me see if I put golf in here. Looks like it might be the game itself. This Bomb Squad might not be 100%. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll try Mind Strike. See if that plays. Came on for a second there. Let's try it without the Intellivoice being plugged in. This is on and out. On and out. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll try these again in the other one. So these ones that aren't working, we'll definitely try them again. Let's try Tron Deadly Disc. It's kind of weird. It just kind of goes black. Like it's not registering the cartridge. If I turn it on without a cartridge, we get a black screen as well. So that kind of tells us the cart's not seated right. There's Tron. Running with the disc, and I'm gonna shoot it at you. Oh, I guess I'm not. Oh, gonna run away. How do I throw my disc? What the hell? They're all getting to throw theirs. Oh, there we go. Oh, oh. Oh, I can throw it back at him, I guess. Well, then how do you die? I guess like that. Alright, well that works anyway. I'm not here to try to play every game and figure out how they all work. Star Strike. Star Strike. 1981 by Mattel. And you already are dead. Stupid human. Look at that, he crashed right on the ground. That's not cool. How do you play this game? So you can go up and down. But you can't go back and... You can go left and right and up and down, but you can't go forward and backward. Which is pointless because I can't shoot these guys. I don't get it. Wouldn't I want these guys to be like in front of me so I can shoot them like that? Like they're coming up behind me. Alright. It's not a good game. I know. Somebody out there. Interesting. I almost get the Bomb Squad here. Circuit board kind of popped out on me. Maybe that's the problem. Let's try without the case.
Not happy, guys. It's not going to work. It's getting closer. Getting a green screen. Purple. Yeah, it's not going. Chips are by Toshiba. Toshiba microchips. There's 3 chips on the board. That's all the circuit board has on it too. It's just 3 processors. There's no capacitors, resistors, nothing. Just 3 processors. Interesting.
You guys are listening to all this static. All the static guys. You mumble.
Yeah. Alright, so I don't know. Bomb Squad. Let's see. Bump and Jump. This was a great game. 83. Data East. And basically, you just had to like stay alive. That's basically how you did in this game. And you could jump. And the other cars would try to wreck you out by bumping you into other cars. And then if you hit the wall or whatever, you would die. And eventually you have to like jump over bridges and things. And you only get like a split second to react, because as you can see, the top of the screen is pretty short. So that one guy went into the drink. And I think you can land on cars, kind of like pre-Mario. Yeah. Of course, that threw me into another car. But that was a fun game, Bump and Jump. We used to play that a lot, because you can just keep progressing in it and seeing how far you can get and such. It's all right. Let's see if this Mind Strike works again. Mind Strike really doesn't want to work. It's just like, no, not interested. You can see my home screen, Kevin, but that's it. Armor Battle. Armor Battle, 1978. This is an early one. Push disc to play. So this was kind of like combat. They kind of made it so your tank was a little bit more, I don't know, tank looking. And you could hide inside a terrain. But I mean, the combat on the Atari gave you a whole bunch of different, you had planes and jets and things. Bastard. So, this is like an improvement graphically over Atari's. My God, how do I turn? And it switches to the other tank, etc. So, fairly basic, but it was 1978 for you. I mean, as you all know, most people were just playing Pong back then. There's football. Or it would be football if it would turn on. There we go. 1978 football. Oh my God. You're making me look for the slip. Is that what you're doing? I don't even have a football slip. No football slip. What are we doing here, fellas? What's up? I don't know. I'd have to read the instructions, I guess. None of the buttons seem to want to do anything. So, it looks like it works. Let's move on. Space Battle. Space Battle from 1979. And it's amazing we survived this long. Holy, not good graphics. What am I, the blue thing? Do I shoot? Or is this just like... what's going on? I can pick... Wow, this is the worst game ever. Did I get a manual for this? Space Battle. To Space Battle keypad. You can do 3 things with any squadron. Dispatch it, that is, send it after an alien squadron, return it to base, go to battle with it after it reaches an alien squadron and starts blinking. Okay. Seems kind of advanced for like an 8-bit game. You know what I mean? Or early 8-bit. Okay, let's summon a squadron. Ta-da! And then we can send them after those guys. Then we'll summon Squadron 2. He's got a target. And we'll summon Squadron 3. How the hell do I get into combat? There we go. Well, that was short-lived. I think we're outnumbered, Captain. Not a good game. Like my quick reviews on these things, it's not good. It's not a good game. Sea Battle. Sea Battle from 1980. We're in a new decade, and we're going to attack some countries. Weird. What is this? What world were we on? It doesn't look like any part of the world I've ever seen. What am I in the top right over there? Aircraft carrier. Fuck am I? Engage. No. Create. Oh, on this little black ship down here in the corner. Dun 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 dun. Looking for something to attack. I don't see nothing, but I'm gonna go look around. I bet they're up here in this other cave thing. Gonna shoot you with my black dot. You are gonna die. After I crash and ground the ship into the green country. Like I'm going to take over the base. Don't stop moving, though. Can I stop moving? Stop. Deploy. Aircraft carrier. Deploy aircraft carrier. Create aircraft carrier. Aircraft carrier. Create. Troop transport. Create. Stop. Engage. Engage. Is this like a two-player game? Is that the problem? Oh. Oh. Combat. Combat. I'm that. Oh, hey, stop. I'm attacking. F you, submarine. Aircraft carriers rule. Alright, this is terrible. Moving on. Some games you don't want to go back and play again. They haven't aged well at all. That's one of them. I'm playing some 128-bit shit right now. But no! Playing auto racing. Let's do it. What? Select cars. Here we go. Oh, that was quick. This is a two-player game. Alright. It's auto racing. How far we've come. We're not even going to bother with baseball. Nobody wants to see that. We've seen enough freaking baseball. It's like a Night Stalker. Night Stalker's going to be another one of these problem cartridges. 1982 Mattel. So this was like you got out, you got yourself a gun, and then like I forget exactly what you got to do. I think you got to kill all the monsters and not die. Like that. It's in a weird way. It's sort of like Pac-Man because there's a maze and stuff, but it's mainly that one guy that can shoot you that is the real pain in your side. Anyway. Night Stalker. And finally, Dungeons and Dragons, 1982. We played this. It is actually an adventure. You basically try to get all the way through to the end. Although this may be a different one. Oh, you know what this is? This is the one that came on like the Aquarius. Mattel had a computer called the Aquarius Poxman or something, portable. And you would, it was real basic. It had a printer, but it was like it printed out receipts or something. Like it was like real thin. Don Cease had it. Probably probably still does. And you'd open it, and then you'd be like, "Oh no, I don't want to fight this guy." And then you would like immediately like close the door on him. That's what you would do on the Aquarius version. Attack. So I can't attack this guy. Lands left, lands right. Can't go forward. I mean, there's a skeleton with a shield, and I can't attack him? Why can't I attack him? It's bumming me out. I can't go left, I can't go right. Can I retreat? Oh. He's like, screw you, screw you, buddy. What's this thing on the ground? Pick up. Can't pick it up. Use. Can't use it. Use ladder. Oh. Let's keep going. You know, for an 8-bit game, Dungeon Crawler, 82. I mean, they probably had some on like TRS 80s or something like that, but this is, you know, this is all right. You could figure out what to do. Swap pack. That doesn't do anything. Pick up. Can I rest? Hey, I rested. My hit points went back up. Well, that was easy. I got a bunch of arrows. So why can't I attack? Count food. Just makes a noise. There's the map. So does that go down? Can I use the ladder? No. What's that? Can I pick that up? Hey, I got a crystal ball or something. I don't know what that is. How can I attack? No. No. I got you once with my weird thing. Whatever it was. Can't seem to pick these up. Is there like a bow or something I'm supposed to get here? This is I'm not going down the ladder. Oh, I guess I did anyway. You may not enter. Oh, there's a sword. Pick that up. All right, now you're going to get it. Yeah! Unfortunately, that's the end of my sword. What? Come on, man. Can't I get more than one swing on it? What the? Anyway. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Probably the best game we've seen out of the whole pack. All right, so this one works. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to go through all the games again or anything. Don't worry. Don't fret. I'm going to put this one away, and then I'm going to connect the other one, and we will see if Utopia works, because we haven't tried that cartridge yet. And we'll also see if we can get the sound synthesizer working. It would be nice to show that off. I think it may actually work, but the only sound game I have is the Bomb Squad one, which is not happy. So, but we'll see what we can do. So, be right back. You won't even notice I'm gone, I promise. But you might a little bit, because I got to pause it. I'm terrible at trying to do this one-handed. Yeah, I got the Bomb Squad to work in the original one.
Mattel Electronics presents Bomb Squad.
So you can kind of hear, I'll turn it up a little bit more, you can kind of hear the talking.
Mattel Electronics presents Bomb Squad.
Which, again, you had to get this special DSP microchip, box
in order to make these voices happen.
They'll never do it in time. The code, figure out the code.
I'm not going to try and figure this all out. But it's nice to see that it works. Here we are with Burger Time. Forgot about the Burger Time and the Donkey Kong. This is on the Super Video Arcade. Burger Time is a nice little harmless game, really. Just a guy making burgers while you're while your condiments or whatever attack you, other ingredients. They're trying to stop you from making burgers. They're just up to no good. So anyway, that works. Burger Time. Let's take a look at Donkey Kong. We can see if it looks like it did in the arcade. I gotta wiggle this cartridge a little bit. There we go. 1982 Coleco. Coleco still has the distribution rights to this in North America. They could sue the pants off of Nintendo. So, not as good as the ColecoVision version, but it looks like it was a serviceable Donkey Kong. Last but not least, we will try our boxed copy of Utopia. It's working. This one was kind of cool. So you would basically decide how many years you wanted, and then you could build different things like in your based on how much things cost, but you could build little parts of your town and things in forts and such. So like you would build like maybe a fort here, and that would protect you from like rebels and things like that. And then you could put one maybe up here, etc. But now I don't have any income, see? So like I'm gonna lose because I don't have any income. Or like player 2, he could build like factories and a fishing boat, and you could use the fishing boat to go where those little schools of fish are, those little green things, and gather up fish. And then that active weather would come along, and either it would be a rain cloud and you would have fields, and either they would give you money when they ran over that part of your island with rain, or if they were a storm, it would give you money, but it might also destroy whatever it's going over kind of randomly since it's a storm. And then occasionally there'll be a hurricane that comes by that really does a lot of damage. You'd have to replace those things. And so you were just in like a constant war with the guy to the right, and you would, when you had money, you would send rebels over to his territory just by paying for them, and they would appear on his land and occupy an area that he had, which he was normally able to use to get money. And forts would make it so you couldn't put down rebels. But if you waited it out, a hurricane would come and knock his forts out, and then you could quickly, before he was able to put the forts down, throw a bunch of rebels on his property. And then eventually you would see who had the highest score, and that would be the end of the game. Also, pirate ships that you see in the water, those would attack your fishing boats and knock them down. It's actually a pretty fun game for the time. It's a little strategy game, like I said. It's still probably pretty fun to play this one today, as it's simple, and yet at the same time there's a lot of strategy to it. Overall, a pretty fun game. So this has been a good look at the old Intellivision. Walk through memory lane. We'll probably do something very similar with the Atari 2600 when we get to that, as well as we have some other bigger consoles still to go. PlayStation 2, Sega Genesis, GameCube, N64. I could go on and on, actually. We've got a lot more to go through. So, thanks for watching. And this was a long one, but the Intellivision kind of deserves it. It's been around a long time, and it was kind of fun just to run through all these games. So, hope you enjoyed it too. We'll be back for the next one. Have a good day.